everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden and happy September. I am so excited that it's September. I try really hard not to let myself rush into the next season. You know, of course, it's so exciting. We all want cooler, crisper air, pumpkin spice lattes, all the falls, the leaves changing and all that kind of stuff. But I just have to remind myself that there's so much beautiful abundance in our gardens at this time of year, not to rush and not to get ahead of myself. And so I'm constantly telling myself to slow down and appreciate where we are right now. And so I usually don't let myself get into the fall mode at all until September. But now we're in September. I can almost taste the pumpkin spice latte, but I'm just really appreciating the abundance my garden has to offer this time of year. So I haven't been out in the garden in quite a while, probably about 2 weeks now, like really out in the garden and working. We got sick and then I really forced myself to slow down and completely recover. And it was really, really nice, but I could feel the itch. I could feel the itch that I wanted to get out in the garden. I wanted to get my hands dirty and I wanted to touch some beautiful flowers and plants. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I really don't have any specific plans. I just want to get out here and I just want to kind of just be in my beautiful late summer, early fall garden. So I just have to show off how beautiful my garden is looking this morning. You can see Jason over there. He's weeding. Yes, we have plenty of weeds this time of year, but everything is just looking so gorgeous. I'm enjoying it. I don't know if it's just because I haven't been really out in the garden for a while, but I am just enjoying I'm just enjoying all of it. Now, earlier this morning, I came out, really even before the sun came up, and I started cleaning out these 3 stock tanks. I started off just by cutting back the Surefire Rose Begonia, but everything started looking done, I guess is what I can say. So I think I've decided I want to clean these guys out, and these will be the first containers that I plant up for fall. So I am going to have to take a trip to the garden center this week and find some fall annuals, which is very exciting. Now my first frost isn't until late November, early December. So I have plenty of time for fall annuals. I know a lot of you don't have as much time, but just, I guess what I'm trying to say is don't write off fall planting just because it's not as long of a season. Fall planting is so much fun. And I did it last year and I appreciated it so much. So that's my plan for these guys today. So I'm definitely going to clean all these out, put all that stuff in my compost. Then I want to come over here and I want to work on my long border. I have a couple things that I'm planning to do, but overall it's just kind of a tidy up. It is that time of year where we do get spider mites a lot, and you can, let me see if I can find some spider mite damage. You can tell that there's spider mites when the leaves look a little stippled. Now that I'm looking for it, I don't see it. But if you see leaves that are looking kind of stippled, that's usually a sign of spider mites, and they like the hot, dry temperatures of this late summer. And so one thing that can really help keep spider mites at bay is by spraying your garden, overhead spraying, which I know a lot of you who live in humid environments, that is actually really bad advice because you don't want water sitting on the foliage. It can cause fungus diseases. But for people who live in drier climates, especially in the summer this time of year, it's really good to do some overhead spraying. So that's one of the things I'm going to do, like over here at my favorite honey apricot rose. It definitely needs some overhead spraying to knock off some of these old buds. I'm just going to be lazy and I'm just going to knock them off. But look at how beautiful those look. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I should cut that and bring that inside. That is just beautiful. I am not going to fertilize these this month because it's still too hot, but I am going to fertilize them next month. I am following the month-by-month guide that my friend Linda Knowles, she is a rosarian that I actually did a garden tour of her rose garden. Gorgeous, beautiful, and she obviously knows her roses. And so I'm following her guidelines on roses and when to fertilize and when to cut back. And I actually will be cutting my roses back next month for late fall blooms, which I'm really excited about because I usually don't get late fall blooms. So should be exciting for that. I just noticed I have lots of weeds over here, so I need to be getting some of those. Then one thing I completely forgot about is I have Kinsley's Ghost honeysuckle back here. Way back here, hidden down here, I planted a tiny little plant and then promptly forgot about it. Oh, looks like they have spider mites. Is this spider mites or is it just dirty? Nope, that looks like spider mites. So you can see the leaf is kind of stippled right there. What I want to do is I want to start training this up the fence because this poor plant just got completely forgotten about. My fault. I completely forgot I planted it here. So I got some wire and I got some screws and I'm going to train it up the fence right here. So really just kind of a cleanup day, kind of touching things up, doing a late summer, early fall gardening day, and I just kind of want to work on this area. So let's get started. Much better. Not perfect. I still have lots of things that I need to clean up, but big difference. It feels good to kind of get that old stuff out. Now, what I need to do is I need to go to the garden center and I do need to get some bags of soil. I need to top these off. I usually just top them off. I never really completely refresh the soil in these. That would just be way too much work. And the roots of the things that I plant in these stock tanks never really get that deep. So I usually just top them off. That seems to work perfectly well for me. So kind of clean them up a little bit. They're all ready for some fall planting. Now, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go take a quick coffee break. But after that, I'm going to get to this area and kind of get it cleaned up for fall. So in addition to the water benefiting the spider mites or helping deal and manage with the spider mites, spraying your plants this time of year also helps with white flies. And I actually have some white flies on my summerific hibiscus right here. I can see them. They're just tiny little flies, white bodies, and surprisingly, just a strong stream of water can take care of them. Now, learn from me, because when I first started off gardening and I had white flies, I thought I needed to use really strong chemicals to get rid of them. And I actually sprayed really strong chemicals. I'm sure a lot of you have heard me tell this story. The garden center owner told me just use a strong stream of water and that will take care of the white flies. I didn't believe him, so I went and I got a systemic, all across the board herbicide, pesticide, fungicide, like just really, really strong stuff. And I sprayed it in my garden, and I had a basically a cloud of chemicals all over my plants. And it worked. It got rid of the white flies, but 2 weeks later, they came back, and so did a whole bunch of other pests in my garden. And I realized that I had completely messed up the homeostasis, the balance in my garden, because I just basically killed everything, including the beneficials. And so I actually have a lot of beneficials on this plant, as well as the whiteflies. I've seen praying mantis, I've seen ladybugs, I've seen lacewings over here, and so I don't want to mess those guys up. So just by using a strong stream of water like this, I'm actually killing the whiteflies because they have soft bodies, but I'm maintaining the beneficials that I want to keep on my plants. So even though this is like the easiest intervention that you can do, it really makes a huge difference, not only for the spider mites, but also for the whiteflies. Looking so good. Just a little bit of fine tuning is all this bed needed. Look who finally came to say hi to me this morning. You've been hanging out with Jason all morning, huh? Okay, so it's almost 10 o'clock in the morning, which means it's starting to warm up a little bit, but I've gotten a lot of stuff done. I'm really happy with what I got done this morning. So like I said, or I showed you guys, I got these stock tanks all cleaned out and rinsed off. Those are looking really good. The big thing though that I'm really happy that I got done was this garden bed right here. This garden bed, it needed a good rinse, you guys. Just giving it such a really good rinse not only helped with the spider mites, definitely helped with the white flies, but it just got a lot of like spider webs and dust and dirt off of the foliage, and everything looks rejuvenated and nice and fresh and clean. I'm just really happy with it. I did deadhead my sumerific hibiscus. Hopefully I'll get some more blooms off of this guy. I did a ton of weeding, specifically back here. I don't even know if I filmed that, but my neighbor has a garden back there, but it's a very like natural style garden, and definitely kind of weedy, unfortunately. They have chickens back there, you know, you can see corn and all this kind of stuff, and a lot of the weeds kind of come over the fence, which is not a problem at all. It's really easy to just go and pull them, but it's definitely something that I have to stay on top of. I do have to say, I have bad news. I don't know how I just noticed this, but that is a black walnut tree, which is so frustrating because if you don't know, black walnut trees secrete a chemical called jugalone, and it makes it really hard for certain plants to thrive near a black walnut. And I don't know why this is the first time I noticed that that's a black walnut tree, but that's definitely a black walnut tree. So I have a black walnut tree on this side of my property, and I have one on that side of my property. So I'm just kind of surrounded by black walnuts, and I just have to kind of garden accordingly. Anyway, so deadheaded a lot, went and deadheaded my flavorette rose. I still have some more deadheading to do on this, but I'm just not going to go crazy. The big thing I wanted to do was rinse off all the foliage on this. Lots of weeding, and then I definitely sprayed this lantana. This is Lantana Basket, Luscious Basket Tangiglow, which is a bright, beautiful color of oranges, corals, and yellows, which I know looks like it doesn't really match with the baby pink, the bubblegum pink, the amethyst, lavender, the purple of the tiara blue, but I kind of love it. I kind of love the bright colors mixed with the softer colors. I just think it's really, really pretty, and it makes you really pay attention to it in the garden. So loving this lantana right here, but of course lantana does get white flies. So rinsing that off really well helped. It should bounce back. You know, all the flowers are kind of, you know, falling over now because of the water, but it should bounce back very, very quickly. I deadheaded the Pugster Amethyst Buddleia right here. That looks so much better. I never really deadhead my Buddleia, but I definitely should because it looks 10,000 times better. And then I did the White Wands Veronica right here, deadheaded that. Now, the only thing I have left to do today is I want to do kind of this area from the Purple Hopseed over. This is a Magnolia stellata that I rinsed off. Looks really good. I even limbed it up a little bit, which I think I'm going to keep doing that as that tree gets bigger. But this is my Cookies and Cream hibiscus that's about done. I want to deadhead it, but it still has some blooms coming. But the main thing is, like I showed you before, the Kinsley Ghost honeysuckle that's back there. I really want to start training that up the fence and giving it a chance, because it has no chance right now. It's not getting any sun. So just allowing it to climb up the fence is, I think, really going to make a huge difference. So I'm going to get started with that, and hopefully I'll finish before it gets too hot. If you all can see this, but look at all the butterflies that are on my meadow. They're all over. I don't know what they're going for, but hey, I'll take it. They obviously like it. And back to my long border, I am so happy with this. I think it looks so good. Just a little bit of cleanup makes such a huge difference. Oh, it feels good to get back out in the garden. So I cleaned up the Cookies and Cream Sumerific hibiscus right here. It looks so much better deadheaded. I did put wire on the fence for the Kinsley's Ghost honeysuckle to climb up, but I don't know. It's smaller than I even thought. So it really didn't grow at all this year. So it just might not be the right spot for it. It might just be too much shade. This is a north-facing fence. It's definitely a hard thing for me to plant because it gets absolutely no shade right up against the fence, but you come like a foot or two out and it gets full hot sun. Like even the leaves of this guy was kind of scorched. I took off some of the scorched leaves. So I don't know. I'll just have to kind of play with it. But regardless, everything else looks really beautiful. It's all cleaned off, nice and fresh, dust free for at least a couple hours. Anyway, I'm happy with it. So again, a very happy September to all of you. I'm like I said, I'm still enjoying this time of year, but I am happy for it to start getting a little bit cooler, a little bit crisper. I'm excited to be able to work out longer in the garden before it gets too hot. And lots of fall planting. Fall's a really fun time in the garden. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.